afternoon, everyone. This is Jared Rand. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for Thursday, July 17 already, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. We're having a reverse aging health call tomorrow night, Friday, July 18th, after 9:15 p.m. Eastern. I'm going to cover some protocols and applications for the human body, because we got to keep as many people in the body as possible until the celestial chamber broad range replicator is fluid and numbers, high in numbers, so that we can administer to as many people as possible at that time. And you remember that the process is only 3 minutes, so we could do a lot of people in one day. A lot of people would believe you want to make sure, first of all, you want to make sure that you're in a comfortable position. No outside distraction. You're relaxed into your body. Still as a statue and focused on your breath, rising and falling. Fear is not our enemy, as many would believe it is. It is a sacred messenger in disguise, and it doesn't show up to dim your light or destroy your destiny, but to reveal where your soul wants to grow. It offers a spotlight on the places where you tend to hesitate in life and pull back your holy presence. It shows you the unloved spaces within you that have gone unheard, untouched, and unseen. This path is not about fixing anything broken. It is about becoming intimately present with the very thing you've spent a lifetime avoiding. It is a return to true reverence and a remembering of your divine, infinite, spiritual nature. It is a deepening in the awareness that was never afraid. Most people avoid facing their fears for their entire lives. They never realize that fear holds the exact medicine they have been seeking. Yet the moment you turn toward it instead of away, something miraculous begins to unfold. You begin to reclaim the life, force, and freedom you unknowingly lost by avoiding and dismissing what you fear. Fear calls out for your full attention. It wants your life to be wildly alert, deeply present, and fully alive. Without fear, you would be sleepwalking through your entire incarnation. Now, when fear arises, to clench your belly, tighten your throat, your chest, it is only asking one thing: will you stop and pay attention to me? Fear is not a weakness, a flaw, or a problem to fix. It is God knocking on your door, inviting you to rise into a higher state of love, connection, and consciousness. It is a signal from your higher self, and something deeper is ready to be seen, embraced, and healed. Every fear tends to distort the truth, not to harm you, but to help you notice the fractures inside that are calling for wholeness. These fractures are like sacred voices from your innocence, asking to be met without judgment. They are not there to be conquered. They are invitations into the arms of the God source within you. You will not dissolve fear by fighting it or overriding it with positivity. You will not heal it through effort or denial, because you are not what you fear. You are not what you fear. You are the infinite presence watching it rise and fall like a passing storm. The moment you stop identifying with the contraction, the illusion begins to dissolve. And what remains is the steady, luminous truth of who you are. Now there's steps that you can take. Because right now on this planet, there's a lot of fear. There's a lot of fear-based people that are looking at things, they're frightened. There's all kinds of things happening. We all know that. Those that are aware to a certain extent know that. But you imagine the ones that are not aware and don't know what's really going on, and they're just very confused and very frightened. And I'm sure you know some of them. So, these are super powerful 7 steps, sacred steps. Life transforming. Trust life, trust God. If you trust, only then can you put your mind aside and something immense opens up. Then this life is no longer ordinary life. It becomes full of God, overflowing. Okay. Now, the first step, name your fear out loud. What are you truly afraid of? You know, it's like I've said several times, you have a fear, sit down with it, right? You just sit down with it, face it. What do you really need? Why are you here? And you'd be amazed what happens in that exchange with you and whatever the fear may be. So you bring your fear into the light. Write it down. Whisper it into the wind. Give it your full attention, because fear can only overpower you when it lives in the shadows. See? The first step opens the door to everything that follows. When we name it without shaming it, the fear begins to soften and unravel on its own accord. You begin to see how you are not this fear, and instead are the one witnessing it. You can start to feel safe feeling it and breathing through it. By naming your fear, you are not identifying with it. You are doing the opposite. You are reclaiming yourself as the witness and not as the wound. You are taking your energy back with a gentle sword of truth that cuts through the illusion. You are saying, I see you, I know you're here, and I'm not turning away. This is where the deep healing begins. You can already feel the energy in the center of your chest as I share this. Let your words be simple and honest. You do not need to analyze it or explain it away. Just let it be named and seen without trying to fix it. Even a quiet, small feeling of acceptance can begin to unravel centuries of turmoil. Now, your action is to write your fear in one honest sentence. Say it out loud 3 times, first with strength, then with calm, and finally as a whisper to release it from your bones. Be aware that you are the witness, watching the fear, and not the fear itself. So you're observing. You're a watcher. You're not participating. And step 2, accept fear as your portal to power. All deep-seated fears rise from unresolved imprints, fragments of pain left unhealed, whether from this life or another. Some fears may seem irrational at first, yet each one carries a memory. They are echoes from the past, calling out for your love. A fear of failure may guard a belief that your worth is tied to performance, right? A fear of intimacy might be protecting a memory of betrayal or heartbreak. A fear of rejection may stem from a moment when your love was not received. Each fear is not here to punish you, but to awaken and enlighten you. Yet first, it must stop believing it needs to protect you from being hurt again. These fears are guarding tender places inside that once felt unloved. They live in the tissues of your body, shaping how open you allow yourself to be. Now, the action you would take on the second step, ask yourself, what might this fear be protecting? Write out any memories or beliefs that arise. Then repeat to yourself 3 times, the infinite spiritual being I am does not need to defend or protect itself. And this reveals your soul's true eternal essence and shows you where to refocus your most empowered belief system and highest energy. You see how this opens up a whole different perspective and application compared to what we've been taught and how we respond to fear. And step 3 is befriend it. Ask what it needs. Fear cannot dissolve while we continue to resist and judge it. It begins to lose its grip when it is welcomed. The moment you stop making it the enemy and say, come and sit with me. Let's have a cup of tea together. It starts to soften and unravel. You make it strong by ignoring it. You make it strong by focusing on it, believing it is you when you're the observer. Meet it only with curiosity and have no agenda. Let it show you what it's protecting from experiencing. It may reveal what you fear will happen if you do not speak the truth. Show up fully or listen. Often deep fears are tied to a past life, childhood imprint, or a collective memory loop, waiting for your loving, healing presence. And the action on this is sit down, close your eyes, ask your fear directly, what are you protecting me from? And then pause. Let it speak without rushing. Ask it what it needs, and then journal what you hear or feel. Treat it like a child asking to be held. 4th step is surrender to feeling it fully. Fear is often a deeper part of our psyche that does not feel safe. It is usually our inner child trying to protect itself through control. Instead of managing it, become intimate with it. Let the fear come into you. Let it tremble through your body. Let it break your composure. Feel your stomach clench and your chest tighten. Do not confuse your sensations with the truth, because they are not. You are the one feeling them, but you are not the fear itself. You never will be. Treat this experience not as, am I doing this right, performance, but as an intentional healing ceremony. Let your tenderness be the medicine, and the more you allow it in, the less power it holds over you. And your action on this is sit still for 10 minutes, read the fear that you wrote down softly to yourself, allow your body to feel fear without resistance, breathe into the sensations, say gently to yourself, I am safe to feel this. 5 is let it break you emotionally open. Every fear, deep fear, is safeguarding a deeper wound. It is protecting itself with walls that prevent you from fully feeling it and releasing it. Sometimes the only way out is to go through it. Let the fear of feeling the fear burn away what you are not. Let it dissolve the false protections that keep the fear stuck in its place. Whisper to your fear, I see you, and I know you are here. When you stop the fearful story and give it acknowledgement, it's easier to drop in, feel the raw, visceral, bodily contraction. And when you can relax into this physically, something shifts. The resistance falls away, and a deeper truth comes alive. Breathe deeply into the contracted space until it stops being so intense. Let it break you emotionally open. Let yourself feel whatever is inside. Trust the process. Know that whatever is felt and released will make your life lighter and freer. The action on this that you want to take, set aside 15 minutes in stillness. Place one hand on your body where the fear is held. We hold the fear in different parts of the body. So you'll know, place one hand on your body where the fear is held, right? Breathe deeply into that spot and whisper, I see you. I know you are here. Stay present as the sensation rises, intensifies, or changes. Let yourself feel it fully until it softens. Allow it to break you emotionally open. Release what no longer belongs. Trust that what is shed will make your life lighter and freer. Step 6. These are super powerful. This is a super powerful process. And I wish everybody on this planet would employ it. Rewire the pattern and shift the frequency. Once the fear is seen, felt, and welcomed, the space that is left behind is very open and sacred. Do not leave it blank. Find out what the opposite words are that balance out your fear. Seek or speak a higher positive truth into that space. For example, if you're afraid of being alone, tell yourself that I am always connected to God. It is safe to be here now. I trust that divine intelligence is always here holding me. See, we choose to learn that we're not this body, we're not these emotions, we are not this life. We are pure consciousness. We are here temporarily to experience life and create the life that we want to live. So let your words become new pathways. Let them speak directly to your nervous system, even if you don't fully believe them yet. Say them with feeling. Your frequency begins to realign to the truth. You find out what the opposite words are that balance out your fear. Speak in higher positive truth into the space of example. For example, if you're afraid of being alone, then tell yourself that you are always connected to God. It is safe to be here now. I trust that divine intelligence is always here holding me. I talk with a lot of people that are alone. They feel lonely. They feel depressed. It's the ego mind. See, it's all this stuff that they are not. And the action on this is write down the exact opposite words that balance out your fear and speak that new reality into your being. Let this become an affirmation that deeply resonates with your soul. Repeat it aloud for 3 minutes while placing a hand on your heart. And the final step, anchor into your higher self. Take time to be alone in silence. It's really important for every one of us that are playing the role of human in these bodies. Take time to be alone in silence. Turn your full awareness toward your higher self. Not as a concept, not as some future version of you, but as the ever-present, all-seeing awareness that has never been touched by fear and has never been confined by identity. It is already here. It is already you. Anchor in this sacred one-on-one time each day. even if only for a few quiet minutes, feel into what never leaves, never wavers, never questions your worth. Breathe from the stillness until your entire day becomes a living prayer born from presence. Remember that you are not human. You're not a human being trying to find your soul. You are the infinite soul, timeless and eternal, that carries the God within it, remembering what has never been forgotten. And your action is sit in silence for 5 minutes with your eyes closed. Inwardly repeat the words, I am the infinite light of God. I have nothing to fear. And let these words fill your entire body with light. And feel that light radiating out into the world. And after about 5 minutes, speak directly to your fear, as if this were the final moment you will ever meet it again. Say, thank you for the wonderful lessons. I release you and return to the infinite light that I am. Let it go completely. Breathe this new reality into your body. Feel the shift. Accept that it has happened. You are now living in a state beyond this fear forever. This is a process, and you choose to engage yourself with it or not. But slowly but surely, some of us on this planet are realizing that we're not any of this stuff. We aren't the fear, we aren't the worry, we aren't the stress, we aren't the body, we aren't the name, we aren't the belongings, we aren't the possessions, we're none of that. We are the infinite light of God. Factually. We're omnipotently powerful, supreme, manifesting, abundant beings that never die. We are pure, deep, eternal love. This is like it's an experience that we have, being in these bodies. But you can see, it's clear, how you can see so many of us, the words escape me, but how many of us are entrenched in this belief that we are the fear. We are the body. We're all this material, physical stuff. And all we're doing is observing the gods that we are. Have you ever had, say, a fear shake you to your foundation? But you chose to embrace the fear instead of run from the fear or suppress the fear. And you felt absolutely elated and light and buoyant from facing it. And it dissolved. It went away. It didn't come back either. You dissolved it. And all the fears, see, we get them as kids. We all have. We get these fears as kids and different ones. We don't discuss them as kids, We keep them to ourselves. Sometimes we'll share with our parents or someone that, we had this fear of this or that. Or, someone in the closet when you were a kid, you kept hearing things and you go to bed. And there's a lot of that goes on. Now imagine children knowing who and what they are from the beginning. Now we, all of us, have not had that. We're told what others were told. We're told what others were told who tell us. And this is what we go on. You can see why things are so, distressed and fragmented on the planet. And all these different beliefs and mechanisms and it probably gives people some solace. And it comforts them temporarily. But you can begin to comprehend what we're doing here on this planet. First, we discover that we're gods in a body. We discover what. And then we begin to comprehend the fact that we're here creating a material physical life so that we gods can experience it. And the only disconnect is that we don't know we're gods. Now, isn't that something? That's the disconnect. We don't know we're gods. Or we've been taught that that's being, bad and negative and saying blasphemous things like that. And all that is because others taught others a lie. And this is what happens on this planet. Others teaching others lies. Which, of course, they believe isn't a lie. They believe is the truth. And this is why you have so much disruption. And this is why you have so many people that they don't know. They fear the unknown. Rather than embracing the unknown, you fear it. See the difference? You can feel that vibration in the center of your chest. It's a good one, too. It's enlightening. To even be talking about this is super powerful. To even identify it with it and your movement and how you sit with things and your alone time with you every day. It's very important. It balances you to be alone with yourself. It balances you. Because, look, remember, we're in this massive hurricane, and there is a center eye to it, and most of us are caught up in the actual storm of the hurricane. There's a few of us in the center because we're beginning to discover we're not the storm, we're not the fear, we're not the worry, we're not the stress, we're not the anxiety, we're not this loneliness. You know what loneliness is? That you're disconnected from the God that you are, that you're disconnected from the universe that you are. That's the loneliness. Sharing a bed with somebody does not fulfill that void. Loving oneself, knowing that you'll never be alone. I mean, look at this universe, just off this planet. We're in like a speck on the outer rim of the Milky Way galaxy, on this little blue marble in a Terran solar system. And you look this is where the perspective of the mind kind of goes south. Because you look at yourself, you say, well, look at this body, and then look at out there. How can I be powerful? You see, this happens a lot. And you may not know that you're saying this. It's the ego mind. When you're omnipotently powerful, your light, you hear me say this all the time, is more bright and powerful than 1,000 suns. If you were to literally take 1,000 suns, put them behind you as the God that you are, their light would pale in comparison to your light. There's no comparison to it. Looks dim compared to the light that you truly are. And you feel this energy as you begin to embrace the God that you are. You don't have a shortcoming. You're not worried about believing and feeling that because it's a natural state of being. This is why at first it might be a little rough edge because the ego mind doesn't care for you to go there. But you go there anyway. And when you take these steps and you begin to realize fear is created by the ego mind, which then controls you. The material physical you, not the God. You imagine how many people walking around this planet that have great fears, deep-seated fears, deep fears? A lot. Do they discuss them? No, because then they feel they're weak. They discuss their fears, they believe they're weak, or they get embarrassed, or they feel they're going to get rejected or judged. Have you ever felt those things? And this is why we talk about how you love yourself. How deeply and eternally do you love yourself? How grateful are you for every breath of air you take? Breath is God. God is the breath. We a lot of us, as I've said, hardly breathe. That's why you'll hear me in conversation and you'll hear some pause, so I'm breathing. When you talk a lot, when you're communicating with someone, you're excited, whatever, and you're just talking, right? You know you're not breathing because you're talking. And this is something that you learn about, is that when you're talking, you got to take a brief breaks and take in some air, oxygen. And sometimes I'll talk for 3-4 hours, as you well know, and I don't take as much, the silent parts, I don't take that many at times. So then I go through a breathing exercise afterwards. These are just things that we want to maintain these bodies in a healthy format. Because why? Well, because we like experiencing. We really do enjoy experiencing material physical life. Now, we have full memory. I'm not sure how many of us would, in other words, you have full memory. Okay, you leave this life, you aren't zapped, you don't have any of that happen. You remember all your past lives. Would you don't know, would you come back and reincarnate back on this planet? Okay. Obviously, you're much more empowered because of the fact that you have full memory of all of the other experiences you've had in all the other lifetimes. So that might be helpful. I believe it would be, as long as you emanate from the heart mind, not the ego mind. If you emanate from the ego mind, it'd be a disaster. This is you begin to comprehend the fact that that's why you don't have those memories, because you're not in heart mind all the time. You're there on occasion, but you're mostly in ego mind. It's like, have you ever been in a situation where you worry and fear about not being included in something? Have you ever experienced that? What is that? It's your ego mind. It's its insecurity. Protecting you, trying to protect you from being hurt again. And being disappointed or hurt is the process of awakening. It's like if you have a bad steak, if you eat meat, if you have a bad steak and you get really sick, you go to a restaurant and you have this food and you get really sick, you get this fear and you will not eat that steak because you had such a horrible experience with eating that steak. Threw up, you had diarrhea, you were sick, run a fever, and you never forget it because it's burned in there. Until you say to yourself, you know what? Why do I have this fear? Because of the experience I had with that situation. And does every steak have to be bad? No. It doesn't. So you commune with your fear, and the fear unravels and disappears. You go and you eat a steak, and it's the best steak you've ever had. You see what I mean? Could be anything. You have a relationship with someone, and the relationship kind of goes south. Many of us have had that in our lifetimes. Whether we're male or female, we've had it, we've experienced it. And then we get fearful of having another relationship because we have that fear that is what? Telling us, what if it happens this time? What if it happens again? And it's crazy, isn't it? When we are not these bodies, we are not these names, we are not. We're in this to experience it and then leave. So wouldn't we enjoy it to the fullest? Whatever it is that floats your boat, tickles your fancy, you do it. You enjoy it, don't you? All of us have things we enjoy. But man, that fear will take it away. You'll sit there and you'll go, nah, not gonna do it. It's just certain things, and you create things. It's like this. Let's say that you want to buy something. You've always wanted to buy it, and what tells you is this, that you can't afford it. If you spend this money on this, what are you going to do about paying your bills and this and this and this? See what I mean? So you talk yourself out of it, and you negate it. And every time it comes back up, because it does come back up, you find a way to negate it. But it's always there. That fear is always there. So once you say, is you sit down with that fear and you say, okay, why are you here? What do you need? Why haven't you left? Why haven't you gone? Do you need a hug? Say, and it's there communicating. And when you don't focus on something that is low, oh, this will happen, so I can't do that. What if this happens? What am I going to do if this happens? And you don't know it, but you're literally manifesting these fears and outcomes. Now, if you say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to have fun with it. You just do it. And something else comes in and takes care of other things. It's not like you're focused on it. You just do it. You experience it. And when I was, let's see, the second time I went homeless, okay, that was because a bank stole all the money I had. I was just left totally, literally penniless. And I sat out in the middle of a park. I sat in the grass and sat on a bench. And for a moment, I just sat there breathing. And I didn't have this fear of what was I going to do or where was I going to go. And I said to myself, this is good. It's not negative because I'd lost everything before that. So I realized that all I do is focus on what I want with no doubt and no fear. Fear goes away. Fear comes out. I sit with the fear and talk with the fear. It disappears. Next thing you know, something happens. Something comes in. I meet someone, talk with someone, or this happens or that happens. And the next thing I know, things are on the upswing at an accelerated rate. It's amazing. And you feel light. You don't feel burdened. You don't feel heavy. Because you know what? You don't have any bills. You don't have anything to think about. You don't have any stuff. You got nothing but you. So you talk about a clean slate. But you've learned, see. It's not something that you did not learn. You embrace it and say, I'm deeply grateful for this to have happened. It's like you don't wish it upon yourself. And you know now, you know to focus on what you want. You focus on what you want without fears trailing you. You focus on what you want. And you do it very concisely, very deeply, eternally loving, and 100% trust, 100% confidence, and 100% faith. If you have doubt, you will literally kibosh it. No ifs, ands, buts about it. If you have doubt, you'll kibosh it. No matter how powerful it is, you could send it to the universe perfectly. And one little teeny doubt causes it not to materialize. I'll join you in meditation. I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. And an easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still, relaxed into your body. Focus on your breath rising and falling. Uncontrollable mental chatter is the cause of all suffering in your life. The moment you stop the mind for even a few minutes, a powerful peace-filled energy arises inside you. Try it and see. To become the divine observer of your mind and step back from the 60,000 thoughts that run through your head each day, simply choose to become the ever-present witnessing observer of each experience. Choosing to be vigilantly aware of this ever-present observer of your mind can make the typical tragic, dramatic day transform into a harmonic symphony of joy and love. For today, devote all your energy to watching the incessant chatter happening inside your mind without buying into its drama. It doesn't matter what the mind does today. Just be a super observer and watch with amazement. If you get tangled up in some important thoughts, do not try to stop them, change them, or participate in them. Simply sit back, even deeper behind your mind, and relax your body. And you can find it extremely entertaining to simply watch, listen, and have a good laugh all day long. Take this with you for the rest of the day into evening and night and following morning. We'll return here Friday, July 18, 2025, after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, continue our global guided meditation call, and after 9:15 p.m. Eastern to continue our reverse aging health call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's going on within you or outside of you. Open your heart, allow the magic to flow in.